Alright guys, hello. Quick introduction here. My name's Harley. I've been trading for about 6 years, trading and investing. Usually crypto, a little bit of stocks, a little bit of options. I just got into futures about 6 months ago. I've been trading with prop firms, mainly Topstep. There's no live trading I see on YouTube, so I just wanted to show some of that. And I've been doing kind of decent for my first 6 months. I've gotten about 3 or 4 payouts, all decent sized payouts. I can go over my strategy in a later video if you guys would like to see that. Other than that, right now I just want to go over the entire week's trades, kind of talk through them, tell you what was going on as I was seeing my trades, and see if it can help you in the future to get your own payouts or pass your own combines. And to start things off, this was a combine that I had just got. 50k combine. I feel like I have better success with the 50ks than the other ones. I usually trade the 5-minute time frame for my entries, and then sometimes I'll take 1-minute entries, look at the 30-second time frame to see where volume's going, and I try to pass these in 2 days. And you'll see that I just got stopped there on a trailing stop, which I usually try not to do on the combines a whole lot, because it usually ends up screwing me over more than it helps me. But right here, we're just taking this short off of this lower high here. Again, we're looking for $1,500. You can see that the MACD, the 5-minute down there, is in my favor. It's crossing to the downside. We're short, and we're just looking for the break of that 21 EMA, that little blue line there. And as soon as it breaks it, I want to see the follow through with the volume on the lower time frames. And you can see we got a really good push right there. And then there's obviously going to be some buyers at this support level, and still some buyers in there. And we got it. That's 1,500 for our first day in that combine. We switch over to this XFA, which I've been doing pretty good on up until this week. This week was tough. This was one of my toughest weeks in a long time. This trade was a rough one too. Like I said, this whole week was rough. I just wasn't getting a good read on the market. But here we're just trying to take this short out of this fair value gap over there to the left, that 5-minute fair value gap. And we do have a downtrend here on the 5-minute, as you can see. But you can see that the bulls are just keeping it at this level. They're not really giving up. The bears aren't really pushing it through. And there's going to be a bunch of stop losses just above this blue line, which is where my stop loss sits as well. So we know that if we keep failing to break down, like right there, see that bullish candle that just came in, especially that wick that really pushes it to the upside like that. And right there, you can just see it hit all the stop losses. When you see that price action move through all those stop losses, it'll move real quick. Just jump right through them and just eat everyone's stop. But you can use that to your advantage too. Right here, should not have taken this trade at all. I mean, look at that. We don't want to go long up there near support. I mean, look at this. This is still an hourly downtrend. My first trade, I had the right bias. The entry was just off. We can see that the 1-minute MACD is fighting us too. We don't want that to be happening. This was just a full tilt trade. I shouldn't have been taking it. You can see that the bulls are fighting. They're holding it up a little bit, but really what I think is going on here is the bears just didn't want it until a little bit higher. You can see that these candles, this inverse hammer candle right there that just showed up before the one we have now, meaning that price got pushed up and then just slammed right back down. I use volume a lot. that'd be the right there again. It just keeps getting slammed and then stopped very quickly. And I believe this is the next day right here. I believe this might be the next day. And so we're on the XFA, and we just took a short in this fair value gap. I believe there, there's a lot of volume there as well. You can see over to the right as well the volume profile. You can see that point of control, meaning there was a lot of volume conducted there as well. And I'm thinking about moving my stop in there. I think this is the same day. You can see up there I'm minus 957 on the day. So I don't want to risk a whole lot on this trade. My max loss limit for the day is $1,500, and I really try not to go over 13, because that's plenty, I kind of go more high leverage, high risk on my prop firms, just because it's not my personal capital. If I lose $150 for the activation fee and the $50. I lose $200. And then if I get 5 profitable days of my profit goal, which is about $1,000, then you get a $2,500 payout. And it's just up to you if you can be patient for those entries. And we can go over that more as time goes on. But you see here, I trail my stop to plus 900. So at least if it runs up on us, we at least get a break-even day. We're getting a really good push here. I mean, we're up $1,400 here with volume increasing. We get a little buy volume there with the MACD cross. See this? With a MACD cross. And so it's looking like the bulls might want to pick it up here. We've got a doji, another MACD cross to the upside, so we take it off for a profit of $200 for the day. So that'll go towards a payout. Let me hop over onto the combine. We take that bottoming signal that we just saw. So we shorted it from the top down here to the bottom. And we're going to see if we can catch this long out of the bottom. And I believe this stops me out. And it takes one more push. The bulls weren't just quite ready yet. And we went too much leverage here. Yeah, that's too much leverage for us to be trading. I would never do that on my XFA. It's only because it's a combine. I'll trade a combine riskier. You can see big volume spike with a hammer candle right there, with the volume following through right there. Big buy volume. We love this trade. We got a big take profit up there, which will essentially just put us at plus $1,500 on the day if we get that. And you see on the 1 minute we just broke the 21 EMA as well. Great sign. Only bad sign is we have that inverse hammer candle, but the bearish volume really isn't coming in here. You can see down there on the bottom, see the red volume when it's coming in, it's low, and so the bears are kind of out of the way for the bulls to push it up. And then right there we're getting a good push, and if we break this high, yep, there it goes. It just hit some stop losses. We got our trailing stop, which I really don't like to do a whole lot, but I will, especially on my XFAs, I will do them. But on the combines, I do trade a little more risky, and I find myself to get hit on my trailing stop a lot, and usually will end up running to my take profit anyways. I just find it to screw me over more than it helps me. I like to use it early on in my XFAs, but as far as combines go, I really don't like to do it a whole lot. And we're getting a good push there on volume. See this volume increasing? We get about 2.5 points from the $2,600 take profit. Right there. If that was an XFA, I would have just closed it. It's not worth it just to wait for 2 ticks. And then we get it. So we get the combine passed. Right there, 3K in profit. That was the XFA stats from before. We had gotten I think it was a $5,100 week for a $2,600 payout. Now we're copy trading today. because we passed that combine to an XFA, and we're copy trading, and we took this nice short. You can see it's a downtrend. It's a little micro downtrend here, and I believe on this one I get hit on the trailing stop. I can't remember. I took it off. Okay, yeah, I took it off. I remember this. I took it off because I saw that big volume spike right there. But it's missing one thing. You need a volume spike and an engulfing candle to enter in a bottoming formation. And it's missing that. And I start to see that here. And I'm like, I don't think this is it. The volume isn't following through. We got the 5-minute fair value gap on volume. Go ahead and enter market because that is my bread and butter right here. That is my setup. And so I believe this was a trade that went on for quite a while here, I think. I believe so. I don't know. Let's see. I record all these and then go over them after they've all been recorded, which I'll switch things up. This is the first time I'm doing this, so forgive me for things like that. So we add into our winner right here. 2 contracts on the XFA. A little bit sketchy. I try not to do that. And these are minis. I'm not trading micros. I trade minis. I usually just trade 1 mini. Sometimes I trade micros, it just depends, but it's rare. I know a lot of people like to trade the micros, but I prefer the minis. I prefer to just be all in and all out on a trade. I found the most success that way. I find less success if I scale out of trades. I mean, it just doesn't work as well for me. I can see the benefits of it, especially to hold a runner. But for me, it's just better for me to be all in and all out and just be very patient on my entries. You can see we just keep getting a little push up, a little push down. No real follow through on this day. This whole week was rough. This was the Fed meeting week. It was a tough one. But luckily we didn't blow any accounts or anything like that. And we're just wanting it to push through and see close under those levels, and it starts to hit those stops. There we go, for a profit of 1300. Lock it out for the day. Be done with it. Take your trade and lock it out. So this day was rough. This is our 50k XFA. Don't even remember why I took that trade. It's just a straight loss. See, this is full tilt trading. I believe this is Wednesday morning of the Fed meeting. And there was just no volume. There was no follow through. It was a no trade day, and it should have been. You can see we've got a little 5-minute uptrend there that we're trying to take. It just wasn't ready. You can even tell that the bulls are not picking it up. It's just being pushed down and pushed down. Right there, stopped again. So we go back into it. We're down 1,000. We try to take this long off this support. You can see these 5-minute candles are just making higher lows. Again, I can go over my strategy in the future. This is just a weekend review type thing. There's 3 entry models that I use. One is a bottoming formation, one is a fair value gap formation, and the other are just kind of support and resistance entries off of volume or wicks, along with the MACD. And I found great success with it. I am pretty far into profit with these prop firms over the last 6 months. The first 3 or 4 months, of course, I didn't make any money. I just lost money. It's been like the last 3 months where I have changed things and found a lot more success. So we get stopped there with our trailing drawdown, or trailing stop loss, of course. And we're coming in here off this short, of this fair value gap short right here, which shouldn't have been taken. This should have been a no trade day. It should have been a no trade day. You can see that it's just chopping back and forth, just chopping. Moving the stop loss up just a little bit, an extra $120. It's not that bad. Really shouldn't be playing with it a whole lot. And now I'm starting to realize, oh, this is a little uptrend here, and I'm short. And I mean, this is in Q too, and it's just not moving. And if you trade in Q, you know it moves. There we go. We're stopped out. We lock it out for the day. Be done with it. That account. We go back to this 50K Express, the other one. We're not copy trading today. We're trying to take a long off here, off this 1 minute fair value gap. The 1 minute fair value gap with an uptrend here. And we got the 5 minute MACD in our favor, but the 5 minute MACD is a little choppy. We really needed to just break above these highs, and then it will hit a lot of stops. But it is just chopping back and forth. And I remember this time right here, I was thinking, see that big volume increase? I was thinking, should I just take my profit at $200 so I can have a $200 day to go towards a payout? And I did not. I find a lot of the time that if I do, like I said, I've said this several times, if I do use the trailing stop, it makes me lose or miss out on more money than I gain from it. I don't know if that's true for you guys, but it definitely is for me. We're getting a decent push here, but we still got those highs above. And we're getting pushed right back down into that range because it is just chopping on this day. And I don't, this is when I will usually use a trailing stop, when I truly don't believe that it's going to work out. And we just cut it for a 257 profit on the day. And this is a pretty good trade right here, I believe, on the 50K Express. We take this short, this breakout short, one of my favorite trades, and we take it for about $984. This is the monthly P&L right there on one of the XFAs. We've got a balance of about $2,000, average win of 498, average loss of 144. This is the other XFA. That P&L is wrong because I took a payout. P&L is a little bit lower than that on that one. The average win is 960 with an average loss of 404. Yeah, you can see we got it up to about 5,100. We took that payout and it cuts your balance in half. And the best trade was 2,200, which was a pretty good day. This was this week's just red green, man, minus 1,800 on the week. It's a rough week. This was the last week, plus 5,100 on that week. And I can't say I can complain, you know. But let me know if you guys enjoyed this. This was just a week in review. I'll go over my strategy and other things like that later on in the future. I appreciate it.